I played Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and I love it. I already love this remake. It's everything I wanted a Snake Eater remake to be. It's just gorgeous, it's beautiful. The new controls actually do make it play and feel better than ever before. I am very early in the game. I will say that. I'm pretty early. I haven't fought any major bosses yet or anything. I'm right past the prologue section, you know. So I'm pretty far in like the early first quarter of the game, kind of. But I'm really enjoying it. Snake Eater is one of the best games ever made. It's extremely well crafted. It always has been. The PS2 version still holds up pretty well, to be completely honest. But even though we didn't absolutely need this remake, I mean, you could say that about a lot of goddamn remakes. It doesn't matter because the way they handled it makes it worth it. I know it's not the most interesting or original thing to say about a new video game these days, but the graphics in this game are just jaw-dropping, beautiful. Everything from clothing to gear to textures, and the jungle itself looks so good. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I know a lot of like PC gamers or whatever are already complaining about performance or whatever. I don't know. I didn't experience any of that shit. I'm enjoying the game so far. I think it runs and plays like a dream. It is a one-to-one remake. It's super faithful and extremely respectful of Kojima's work. So it's not, you know, they didn't fuck it up. But this Snake Eater remake to me is really how you treat like a game that was already kind of perfect to begin with. Tweak the controls, sure. Make the game look better than ever, sure. You don't really need to do a whole lot more than that. Something has been popping up a lot. I've been seeing a lot of articles mentioning how Snake Eater is proof that Konami doesn't need Kojima. Look guys, they made a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and it's selling like hotcakes. See, they don't need Kojima. The future of Metal Gear is brighter than ever, and it's like, no, bullshit. That is bullshit. Yes, this remake is great, and it's awesome, and I'm glad they didn't reimagine it or add anything that new, aside from the new multiplayer mode that'll be coming out sometime down the road. Looking forward to that, actually. But as far as the core game goes, no, they didn't do anything new. Like, I'm glad they didn't. I like what they did. But, like, Konami, unless they're gonna make like another original, unique Metal Gear game with a new story, like, are they gonna do that without Kojima? Because, I mean, maybe then they're proving themselves. But personally, me and a lot of other hardcore Metal Gear fans, to a lot of us, Metal Gear is not Metal Gear without Kojima, without the creator, you know? So, like, the idea that Metal Gear can just keep going and the future of the series is bright. Let me tell you something. The last time Konami made their own original Metal Gear game, you know what we got? Survive. Metal Gear Survive. That was the last time we got an original Metal Gear game from Konami. Remember that? Nobody liked that game. That didn't even have a snake in it. And even if it did, I don't think it would be the Snake we love and know. Like, look, am I thinking that Konami can make a Metal Gear game original or whatever that plays well, looks good, is a decent game? Sure. But will it feel like Metal Gear? Will it be something as incredible as Snake Eater? Will it have the crazy details and ideas and experimentation that game had? No. Because not many game directors would do the shit that Kojima did with his games. They wouldn't take the risk he would take or whatever. I don't think anybody at Konami working there now is gonna even have that pull to do like crazy creative stuff, you know, like. So the idea that the future of Metal Gear is bright now just because we're getting remakes of Metal Gear, that doesn't make sense to me. And it's kind of insulting to say, well, Konami doesn't need Kojima. It's like, well, they kind of do, because they're just remaking his work. They're just one-to-one remaking his work. Like, we know without a doubt that Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4 are definitely going to get remade. It may not have been confirmed yet, but considering how much Delta has already sold, it's already sold ridiculously well, which is good because it's a great remake. But they're going to do Metal Gear Solid 1, they're going to do 2, they're going to do 4, because that's the safest, easiest thing Konami can do with the series right now. And honestly, the smartest thing they can do with it, because they sure as hell aren't going to have as much success if they just make an entirely new one. You know, there are going to be a lot of hardcore, longtime fans like me who are going to be very iffy about it. And it might still do okay, but I don't think they're going to take a gamble like that anytime soon. Maybe eventually, they'll when they run out of remakes, maybe they'll try it, but I don't know, man. I don't want a Kojima-less Metal Gear game. And yes, I know it's been done before. A couple of Metal Gear spin-offs were done without Kojima. Metal Gear Acid games, which were these weird tactical card-playing Metal Gear games on PSP. Like, those were weird spin-offs. I don't think anybody complained about those not being Kojima games because they were spin-offs. Same with Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear Rising was a great game, great action game, starring Raiden. You play as a cyborg ninja. Nothing like a proper mainline Metal Gear game, and it definitely didn't have Kojima's style of creativity or whatever. But that game worked because it was a total spin-off. It had nothing to do with Snake. It was set after MGS4, and it had that Platinum Games action. It was made by Platinum. It felt like something like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry or something, and it was fun, and I loved it. Metal Gear Rising, hell, I hope that gets a remake at some point. Metal Gear Rising was so much fun. They just made a really good Metal Gear game in the Metal Gear world, but it didn't feel like Kojima. It wasn't a Kojima game. And I think me and other people were willing to, we were okay with that just because it was a spin-off. It was a very unique spin-off. It had nothing to do, it wasn't a proper Metal Gear game, But if Konami was to make their own new original Metal Gear game, one would assume it's going to have Snake, it's going to have all the usual stuff, because they're going to want to make money off of that. They're not going to do something totally unique or a spin-off or make another Metal Gear Rising game. I mean, maybe they will if they're really smart, because honestly, if they were going to make a new Metal Gear game, Platinum's still around. I mean, they could always work with Platinum Games and make a new Metal Gear Rising. I would be okay with that, but I think a lot of fans, especially the ones who don't care about Kojima, and to me aren't real Metal Gear fans, because if you don't care about Kojima, why are you a Metal Gear fan? I mean, all the good Metal Gear games were made by Kojima, but I digress. Maybe those people will be like, no, I want one with Snake and David Hayter, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, you do realize it's going to be an imitation. It's not going to feel like a Metal Gear game. It's not going to have that level of unique secrets and quirks and cool shit. Like, nobody is going to come up with the shit that he used to come up with, There is nobody else at Konami right now that is a Kojima, And I don't think Konami's going to take those kinds of chances anymore, which is why they fired him in the first place. Because Kojima was a very indulgent director that would, go off the beaten path and do strange things with his games and keep tinkering with them right up until the end of development. A lot of directors aren't going to be that bold, especially since it seems like Konami wants, their development and their productions and stuff to be more tight and controlled. So, I don't know. I'm very happy with the way Delta turned out, I'll tell you that. If they want to just keep remaking the rest of the series, including Rising, shit, go right ahead. I'll keep playing those, because all they're doing is shining up games I already loved that were made by Kojima, So the idea, long story short, is Metal Gear back? Have they revived Metal Gear Solid? No, they did not. If anything, this remake of Delta and whatever remakes they do after this, they're more like memorials. We're just revisiting a dead franchise. It doesn't mean the franchise is back. It's not like Capcom where, they brought back Resident Evil because they keep making new Resident Evil games. Yeah, they're remaking shit too, but those games are totally different. Never had a single creative mind behind them. Resident Evil always had different developers. So, that's a different thing. Also, Konami's own Silent Hill series, the Silent Hill series, that's something that they can obviously do this with, because again, Silent Hill never had a single game director behind each game. It was never just the creative mind of one person. Even though each game had its own director, who had his own style, I'm sure, each one had different directors. There wasn't a Kojima behind Silent Hill. So it's a lot easier to take some risk and do something new with that. Metal Gear? Yeah, that's tough, man. Because what I'm trying to say here is, would you want a new Quentin Tarantino movie? Would you want Kill Bill Volume 3 without Quentin Tarantino? No. I don't. I fucking love Kill Bill. Kill Bill Volume 3 without Quentin Tarantino? Imagine J.J. Abrams directed instead. You know, like, what are you going to do? You want that? But what if Quentin Tarantino just straight up said, I'm not making Kill Bill Volume 3? Then you know what? I don't want Kill Bill Volume 3. I don't want it without Tarantino behind it. I hope Silent Hill continues to work out because they're doing stuff with that has me excited. But please, please, for the love of God, people, shut up about Metal Gear's back. Yeah, we don't need Kojima. Metal Gear's back. Okay? Metal Gear is a franchise that ended, and Konami is now paying tribute to it. They're shining up the classic games. I'm fine with that, but it is not back, okay? Not maybe in a financial sense, maybe in a commercial sense, but not creatively. No. No. This pumpkin spice thing is really good. This is Pumpkin, by the way. Southern Tier Pumpkin. Fall is back. I don't know about Metal Gear, but fall is definitely here. And I am enjoying my pumpkin beer. Because I am a pumpkin slut. Anyway. Till next time, guys. You get to burning and live for the passion.